Yes, very good.
Great, great. Just make this on. Okay, fine. Hey there, beautiful minds. Welcome back to Mind Over Matter, the podcast where we challenge the norms, dig into untold truths, and unlock the secrets to living your best life. I'm your host, Avik, and today we are venturing into a topic that will literally brighten your life, both inside and out. Here's the thing, like, we spend so much time indoors, right? Working, binge watching, scrolling, that we forget like, how much our bodies crave the natural world, the natural light, the sunlight, everything. But what if I told you that this isn't just about fresh air or the sunshine? What if it's about your mitochondria, those tiny powerhouses in your cells, and even your brain health? To shed light, to shed some light on this, I have got the perfect guest with me today, Jason Yoon. So, welcome to the show, Jason.
Thank you very much for having me.
Lovely, lovely. So, dear listeners, before we start, I'll quickly love to introduce you to Jason. So, Jason's story is incredible. Like starting out as a fitness and nutrition guru, only to discover that the real key to health wasn't in the gym or the kitchen, but in how we sync with the nature's rhythms. And now he's all here about circadian biology and helping people reconnect with the light, life, and their true selves. So, Jason, welcome to the show. I'm so much excited for this illuminating conversation.
Yes, so am I. Thank you for having me again.
Lovely, lovely. So, Jason, like, your story is definitely incredible and so relatable also. So, you have spent years helping people with the fitness and the nutrition, yet you found it wasn't enough, right? So, what was the aha moment that shifted your perspective? Yeah, yeah.
The yeah, the aha moment was when
Mm-hmm.
probably around 2015, 2000 to 2018,
Uh-huh.
I started feeling the effects of my lifestyle. Basically,
Hmm.
I was waking up at 4:30 to teach a
Oh.
strength and conditioning class at 5:15. Sometimes I was working out before that
Hmm.
class started, and I was definitely doing it after. Um, but I started having
Hmm.
basically hormone issues. So I had cortisol, uh, melatonin issues. So they were backwards. So when one is low, the other is supposed to be high, and then vice versa. But I was having energy issues throughout the
Hmm.
day, sleep issues. I was typically waking up, um, scrolling through Instagram for the first 5 to 10 minutes, trying to find inspiration to get myself going. But
Okay.
as I've since learned, that's like
Hmm.
the most horrible thing that you can do. But
Okay.
um, so as somebody who is had a health and fitness business and helping people with their
Hmm.
health, um, getting hormone problems and not feeling my best was
Hmm.
unacceptable to me. So I knew I needed to start looking in other directions. So
Hmm.
that's when I was reintroduced to Dr. Jack Cruz,
Hmm.
and because I was first introduced to him in 2013, but I ignored his message
Hmm.
because I had fitness programs, nutrition programs, and supplements to sell you. So I wasn't ready for that. But I went full blown into his teachings about circadian biology, mitochondria, hormone health, seeing the
Hmm.
sunrise, naked eyes, all that stuff. And it was a quick turnaround. I mean, I felt
Hmm.
awesome within the first 30 days of doing it. And I was even doing it wrong. But eventually I course corrected. And each day or each month or quarter, I've added on new things. So ice
Hmm.
baths, cold showers, grounding, all the stuff that he recommends and all the books he
Hmm.
recommends. It's just
Hmm.
compounding and raising my dopamine so I can think better and see the true cause of why everybody's
Hmm.
getting sick and whatnot. And that's basically my mission now is to help people course correct who are ready to course correct and get them on the right path.
Wow, that's awesome. I would say that's really really awesome. And um, also one thing on this perspective only, I'm thinking like um, like how did your personal health struggles, like the hormone issues, shape your understanding of what true health looks like?
Well, that was the second time that I had been
Uh-huh.
sick in my lifetime.
Mm.
The first time was in my mid 20s. I
Yeah.
had depression, anxiety, thoughts of suicide.
Mm.
Um, but I thought I fixed them with basically nutrition and
Mm.
fitness and supplements. But um,
Mm.
obviously, as I learned, that wasn't the case.
Mm.
So I've learned that fitness, nutrition, supplements, they have their place, but it shouldn't be
Mm.
the first go-to or the second go-to. Because
Okay.
obviously in January, I don't know how it is
Mm.
over in India, but in America, it's all about New Year's resolutions and all this stuff, and people are trying
Mm.
to like the number one um, resolution is basically lose weight.
Mm.
So going on a diet or starting to work out, it should not be the first thing that you think about when you need to lose weight. Um, Anybody who does need to lose weight, they have
Mm.
hormone issues and they have a circadian rhythm malfunction that needs to be addressed first because going on a diet and exercise can
Mm.
even further the hormone issues. So that's the first thing. It's like it's not for
Mm.
some people. It's like number seven, number eight, number nine, um, rather than putting it number one or number two. Because
Uh,
uh, yeah, because I always say don't work out to lose weight and don't go on a diet to lose
mm.
weight. Because usually when people are starting to put on too much weight, they're eating too little food. And sometimes
Mm.
when people come work with me and I coach them, a lot of times I will take the workouts completely away from them. And the only workout I will have them do is basically just walking outside in the sun. Um, so that's something that it's really taught me that workouts are not the end all be all. I
Mm.
believe everybody should work out, um, but you have to be at a certain state. So you can't do it with hormone problems. You can't
Mm.
be leptin resistant or that or whatnot. You've got to be in a certain place. You basically got to be healthy to start working out and whatnot.
Understood. Understood. And so you talk a lot about circadian biology and how light is more critical than food or the workouts. So for those who have never heard of this, so can you break it down for us? I mean, why is light such a game changer?
Light light is known as one of our Zeitgebers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's basically just an environmental cue that our
Yeah.
body is supposed to pick up on. So
Mm.
light and temperature are the number one and number two Zeitgebers, so to speak.
Yeah.
So um, our our master clock is our suprachiasmatic nucleus. It sits right behind our retina,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it is basically it's the master circadian clock. So it's what
Mm.
sets the circadian clock. That's why I always say the most important thing for your health is to see the sunrise with naked eyes.
Mm.
So no sunglasses, no contacts. If you do have eyeglasses, you pull the eyeglasses down so that sun can get into the eye, and that's
Mm.
going to set your circadian rhythm. It's going to set off the proper release of the hormones.
Mm.
Because when you first wake up, you grab your phone like I used to do and scroll through whatever. You've got a massive hit of blue light, and you've also
Yeah.
got the non-native EMF from the 5G, the 4G, okay, all that stuff. It's just destroying the brain. So we need to set the right hormones off, and
Mm.
once we once we do that, because once you do that, then everything falls into place. So we're
Mm.
supposed to sync our eye clock and our brain clock to our gut and liver clock. So that's why after you see
Mm.
the sunrise within like 30, 45 minutes, you want to eat your breakfast. So
True.
the breakfast should be, if somebody's overweight, it should be a big ass breakfast. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm going to have a hard boiled egg and
Mm.
like a little 100-calorie yogurt pack.
Mm.
It should be a big ass breakfast. So it should be at least 50 grams of protein, and fat should be about the same.
Mm.
Because we're trying to resync the liver and the gut clocks with the brain clock. So that has a lot to do with the hormone leptin, which is our master hormone.
Mm.
So anybody who's insulin resistant, okay, and that will typically be anybody who's most people overweight will have insulin resistance, but you have to know that leptin resistance showed up first. So you need to take care of leptin in order to take
Mm.
care of your insulin, and then that will take care of most of the other hormones. They'll fall into place.
Mm.
Um, so when you eat that breakfast, it will resync the gut and the liver clocks back with the brain clock, and yeah, because those two clocks, they're the easiest to unsync because we can do things. We can eat after dark. We can eat late at night. We can snack throughout the day, and that's another thing. You're not supposed to snack throughout the day because it destroys leptin. So it's kind of like
Mm.
you're going on a car trip,
Mm.
say, or maybe a ferry trip. So you're taking a ferry from or a cruise ship. You're taking a cruise ship from India to New
Mm.
York. Okay, but
Yeah.
along the way, if you're snacking throughout the day, you don't truly know when you're supposed to fuel up, and you don't know how much fuel you're supposed to put in. So
Yeah.
that's basically what snacking is doing. Um, so when you're snacking at certain times of the day, you're
Mm.
not really hungry at that time of the day. It's just at that time of the day, your body is used to getting something in, so it's going to send you signals. Say, but once you fix everything, those signals will go away, and then your real hunger
Mm.
um, hunger notification will be sent to you once you're hungry. Um,
Mm.
does that answer the question?
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
No. Cool.
So, speaking of modern living, we are indoors for more than ever. So, for those of us who can't always get outside, what are some of the practical hacks to make the indoor life less damaging to our health? What do you say?
Um, well, if you work from home, that's obviously
Mm.
the easiest to do.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't have any lights on. I just got
Mm.
windows, three big windows. My window is cracked. That's one thing that you want to do. So
Mm.
windows will block, um, I believe it's 99% of UVA light,
Mm.
100% of UVB light. Um, they'll block 40 to 60% of red light, and they'll let all of the visible light in, which
Mm.
includes the blue light. So it's if you're sitting behind a window, it's giving you a very bad
Yeah.
frequency of light. So never sit next to a closed window. So even when you're
Mm.
driving, crack that window, um, because it just takes a small stimulus for of sunlight to create a massive amplification in your body, and that's what those your cells and your mitochondria need. Um,
Mm.
but other things that you can do on your computer, I have a program called Iris.
Yeah.
So basically, you can set the settings. I usually, when I'm inside, I usually have it at zero blue light.
Mm.
But if you're somebody that is like a graphic designer, or you need the color, you can change it throughout the day, so you can look at whatever you need to look at. So that's a hack. Um, if you are in the office, you're kind of more at the mercy of whatever that company is doing. But there are
Mm.
things that you can do. Um, they a company I recommend is called Waken, because
Mm.
a lot of companies, they won't let you install certain apps, so they might not
Mm.
let you install Iris. But Waken makes screens for computers, iPads, and they actually makes screens that you can put over the overhead fluorescent
Mm.
lights. So we have one on our TV, and it's awesome. So
Mm.
improvementwarriorfitness.com/waken, and I think my code is like Improvement Warrior. So that's been a game changer, especially for people in my house. My wife particularly won't
Hmm.
wear blue blockers, but when you have the screen on, it really protects everything. Um, Otherwise, also you got to worry about non-native EMF. So Wi-Fi is a big issue. Um, People don't really think about that. Why? I mean, Wi-Fi is so ingrained into us.
Hmm.
People think that they need it, but it's actually
Yeah.
one of the worst things for you. Um, First off, if you do have it at home, at least shut it
Hmm.
off when you go to bed,
Yeah.
especially if you have kids. Um, One thing well, so think of Wi-Fi.
Hmm.
We've got the Earth, and the Earth has a resonance to it, so it's got a heartbeat, and its
Hmm.
heartbeat is basically the Schumann resonance, which is 7.83 hertz. So think of it as like 8 cycles
Hmm.
per second. Now, Wi-Fi is 2.4 gigahertz or 5
Hmm.
gigahertz. So that's 2.4 billion cycles or 5 billion cycles. And if you have them both on, that's
Hmm.
7.4 billion cycles per second. And that's going to affect your mitochondria and your cells and the way you can think and all that stuff
Yeah.
compared to just 8. Okay. It's huge. Um, so switching to Ethernet is something I recommend if you can,
Hmm.
especially at home. Um, but um, if you are in an office, then you're gonna try and get as
Hmm.
far away as possible from wherever the Wi-Fi router is. And they have different EMF protection devices that you can use.
Hmm.
So right now I am actually grounded. So I've got this clip and it just clips on to a copper wire, and the copper wire goes outside my window, and then they screw it in
Hmm.
to the actual ground. Um, I don't really like the grounding stuff where you can stand on it and then plug it into an outlet, because
Yeah.
the outlets are electricity, and it's one of the things that it's a non-native EMF. It affects us.
Hmm.
It was the first EMF that really affects us. So they found that if you live next to the closer you live to a power line,
Hmm.
the more likely you are to get like leukemia, especially for children. So,
Ah.
um, but yeah, but also make sure everything is wired as possible, wired mouse, wired keyboard.
Hmm.
You don't want to have like Bluetooth stuff. Obviously, if you have to have calls, the wired ones are going to be way better than the AirPods.
Hmm.
And they actually make air tubes, which would be
Hmm.
a step up from the wired, because you're still getting EMF up and down that wire.
Yeah.
But if you do have to make calls, obviously don't just, and you have to do it on your cell phone, on speakerphone, okay, a little bit away from
Yeah.
your body, or landline. Never a cordless phone. That's just as bad
Hmm.
as a cell phone. And yeah, so those are some tips. And I actually make most of my calls
Hmm.
um, through Google Voice. So that way it's just done.
Perfect.
Yeah, just done through my
Uh,
computer and whatnot.
Lovely, lovely, Jason. It's really great. Thank you so much for your sharing your journey and wisdom with us today. And
Mhm.
definitely, you have truly shown a light on how we can all take control of our health, not by doing more, but by reconnecting with what nature already gave us. So, to all the listeners out there, let it be, I mean, let this be your wake up call. Literally, take a step outside today. Feel the sun on your skin and start paying attention to your light environment. And if you're ready to dive deeper into circadian biology, check out Jason's courses and programs. They might just change your life. And do not forget to subscribe, share this episode and with someone who needs it, and leave us a review for sure. So let's spread the light, both figuratively and literally.
Mhm.
Until next time, this is your host Avik reminding you to keep your mind over matter and stay curious, stay inspired, and stay connected to the world around you. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.